The first thing I registered was the cold. It seeped through the thin blanket, clung to the rough stone floor. My eyes flicked open, met by impenetrable darkness, the air thick with it, heavy in my lungs. Panic welled, hot and immediate. Where was I? My hand instinctively shot out, encountering cold, hard stone. Walls, bars, the clang of metal on metal echoed in the distance, a chillingly familiar sound. This was a cell. But why? Memories were murky, a jumbled mess of half-formed images and sensations. I strained to grasp at them, to make sense of the disorientation, the fear. The harder I tried, the further they slipped away, leaving me adrift in a sea of uncertainty. The only sound was my own ragged breathing, the frantic thump of my heart against my ribs. I was alone, utterly alone. Then a voice soft as dust motes dancing in a forgotten sunbeam. "It's all right, son, you're safe now." I spun around, my pulse quickening. In the far corner, barely discernible in the gloom, a figure sat hunched. The voice, raspy with age, spoke again. "Don't be afraid, it's just you and me." The fear, though, refused to recede. Who was this person? What did he want? And how in God's name did I end up here? I inched closer, each step heavy with trepidation. The scant light filtering in through the barred window high above cast long, dancing shadows, playing tricks on my eyes. As I drew nearer, the figure came into sharper focus. He was old, his face a roadmap of wrinkles etched deep by time and experience. His hair, what little remained, was a shock of white against the rough fabric of his prison garb. He looked up, and in that instant, the breath hitched in my throat. The eyes that met mine were unsettlingly familiar. They held a depth of knowledge, a weary acceptance that sent a shiver down my spine. It was like looking into a distorted mirror, one reflecting a future I couldn't begin to comprehend. Who are you?" I stammered, my voice a dry rasp. A sad smile flickered across his lips. "Don't you recognize me? Take a good look, son. It's you. Or rather, it's who you could become." His words struck me with the force of a physical blow. This was me? This frail, defeated-looking man? Impossible. And yet, there was something in his eyes, a shared history, a recognition that transcended the years etched on his face. The night stretched on, an eternity punctuated by the drip, drip, drip of water from a crack in the ceiling. We spoke in hushed tones, our words echoing in the vast emptiness of the cell. He spoke of choices, paths taken and not taken, the slow accumulation of regrets that weighed heavy on his soul. He spoke of love lost and found, of dreams chased and abandoned, of the crushing weight of unfulfilled potential, of the bitter sting of what-ifs that echoed through the years. He spoke of the importance of family, of cherishing the small moments, of the fleeting nature of time. He spoke of me, of the man I was and the man I was in danger of becoming. He didn't sugarcoat the truth, didn't shy away from the harsh realities of a life lived on autopilot. And I listened. I listened with a growing sense of unease, his words striking a chord deep within me. Was this my future? Was this the man I was destined to become? But it wasn't all doom and gloom. There were moments of levity too. He recounted stories of triumphs and joys, of love and laughter. He spoke of the simple pleasures in life, a child's laughter, the warmth of the sun on his face, the taste of his wife's cooking. He reminded me of the dreams I'd once held, the passions that had slowly dimmed over time. He urged me to fan those embers back into flame, to live a life of purpose, a life that mattered. And in the silence that followed his words, in the quiet stillness of that cell, I heard it, my own voice, whispering in the recesses of my heart. It spoke of longing, of a yearning for something more. It spoke of a desire to break free from the chains of my own making. It was a revelation, a moment of profound clarity. I wasn't trapped in this cell, not really. I was trapped in my own life. When I woke, the memory of the dream clung to me like a shroud. The cell, the old man, his words, they were seared into my mind. The world seemed different somehow, sharper, clearer. The humdrum routine of my life, once so comforting in its familiarity, now felt stifling. I started small. I called my sister, whom I hadn't spoken to in months. I dug out my old guitar, the one gathering dust in the attic. I started taking walks in the park, noticing the way the sunlight filtered through the leaves, the sound of children's laughter echoing in the air. The world hadn't changed, but I had. The dream, that unsettling glimpse into my own future, had awakened something within me, a sense of urgency, a desire to live a life true to myself, to the man I knew I could be. What about you? What would your future self tell you? And what will you do about it?